Hey, how's it going, you guys? Welcome back to some more Corpse Party. We just got done talking to Kenji and Momo, which are like downstairs neighbors, I believe, and they're the ones we're getting our Wi-Fi from, just totally screwing them over like everybody else in this game. But also, we had our second confirmed kill after Ruri, so that was interesting. And she got a little excited about that. I mean, she also got beat up a little bit too. Like there was quite a few things that happened. I was pretty satisfied with the progress we made. But we're gonna go ahead and continue on here and see what happens. The place is dark because I always make sure to cut the lights before I leave. I can't afford to leave any electricity running. My rent chews through most of my salary as it is. I flick on the lights and feel relief as the living room illuminates. My faithful couch and TV emerge from the shadows, and I immediately feel at home. After throwing my keys and bag into the coffee table, I slump down on the couch. What a day. Yeah, what a day it was. I have an overfeeling urge to pull out my laptop and check my website for new requests, but my body's needs come first. I'm desperate for a hot shower. I'll need to cleanse my face, scrape the paint off underneath my nails, and I'll definitely have to slip into a fresh set of underwear. Okay, I'll be specific. She didn't say clothes, she just said underwear. Okay. Whatever happened in the bathroom today took its toll on my body and my clothes. I like how she, like, says whatever happened, like, almost as if she doesn't remember. You went a little psycho in there. I've never seen anybody do that. Well, the night is young, I can relax later. For now, it's time to start scrubbing. Oh boy, oh boy. Thursday morning. Okay. Getting really close to the current date right now. The convenience store is a little more crowded than usual. The mundane chatter of business people, students, and workers buzzes in the air like a swarm of relentless flies. Throughout the drone of mingled conversations, I happen to catch a few interesting words here and there.
Have you seen that one website? What do you mean by request a death?
My lips curl into a half smile, half snarl.
Since he always cheats, I thought I might upload his photo.
Oh, okay. People are just like, I'm just gonna kill anybody. You know, you screw me over once, gone, dead.
And you think Corpse Girl really exists?
I think the funny thing is that the forum she has, does it have any protection against people just throwing tons of answers in there? Like, can you just keep doing it over and over? Like, you could totally flood that website. And also, I'm surprised nobody outside of, like, Tokyo is using it. I wonder if she's, like, specifically got it set up in Tokyo somehow, so only people in Tokyo would find it. However, I know they're not talking about it because of Akane Tsurumaki's death. As far as I can tell, her death wasn't reported to the news as a suspicious case. The only source of information I could locate was her obituary. And that didn't mention anything about foul play, so there's no way anyone could know that Corpse Girl was involved. People are talking about the website in the same way they always have. Like, it's just an interesting topic of conversation, an icebreaker, one of those things you tell your friends to entertain them. And therein my issue with the website as a topic of conversation. It's just an urban legend, a point of discussion that inevitably fizzles out and is forgotten. People talk about it, people visit the website out of curiosity, but very few people take action and request a death. And my cat's playing with something again. She always does this while I'm recording. That's the part that annoys me. If people don't actively participate, how can I prove myself to the world? How can Corpse Girl claim her victims if there are no victims to be claimed? As long as the website is simply a talking point, a myth, an icebreaker, then Corpse Girl's ambitions will remain unfulfilled. To be fair, I haven't yet provided a compelling reason for people to take the website seriously. The death toll is humiliatingly low. I need to ramp it up and step up my game for Corpse Girl's sake. Until I manage to do that, people continue to simply discuss the website in hushed tones, like it's some taboo fantasy that shouldn't be spoken of. I mean, yeah, I feel like it almost is that. Like yes, apparently there's some kind of power to it, but it should be considered something very taboo. I mean, I don't think a website that lets you kill off somebody or request the death of somebody should be like a very well-known thing. I think that would be quite the stir. But with some more time and some more victims, soon everyone will know to fear Corpse Girl. Thanks to the constant drone in the convenience store, I barely register the quiet melody of a ringtone. Eventually, my ears become keen enough to pick it out and answer my phone.
Hey. Good morning, Noriko. Is this a bad time?
Not at all. I'm at the convenience store.
Oh, good. I wanted to catch you before work.
No worries. I actually meant to call you yesterday, but the day got away from me.
That's okay. I wanted to ask if you spoke to Shinya yet?
I sure did. Guess what? What? You start work on Monday. You'll be doing data entry with me. We might even get to sit near each other.
Oh my gosh. Really? Are you telling the truth?
I will say though, the one good thing she does is that she got Aoi a job, and obviously Aoi like really needed a different job. Like she was being sexually harassed. Like I thought like, oh, it's just some guy hinting on her. Like that's okay, whatever. But then like Noriko's like, so we can get you to stop being groped. I'm like, what? Nobody mentioned this before, as far as I know.
Of course. When have I ever lied to you?
Oh, Noriko. I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you so much. Does this mean I can quit the maid cafe now?
Yes, but not before you show me your maid outfit, just cause for purposes, okay?
Yep. Quit today if you can.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, freaking screw that job.
Are you crying?
I'm so happy.
Making Aoi so overwhelmingly happy really feels good. I care so much for this girl. Her happiness is vital to me.
I owe you so much. And Shinya too. I know. I'll buy him a gift to give him on my first day. Do you think he'll like that?
I wonder if these two are gonna fall in love.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. That's a great idea, Aoi.
What does he like?
I managed to spill the answer to that without having to think twice.
Crime novels.
Yeah.
Oh, really? His dad is a detective, right? Okay, I can get something like that. Right now, I'm going to march into the cafe and quit.
Let's tell my boss to shove it. That's what you should do.
Tell him. Good luck, kid.
Who's this cat think she is? You tell him, good luck, kid. Alright, alright.
Bye,
The call ends and I smile. Aoi sounded so happy. I'm really glad that I could help her out. She deserves to be happy. It's interesting to see the duality of Noriko. You got one side that's like trying to help her friend and is super nice and like going out of her way to care for her. And then you have the other side where she's an insane psychopath that's like killing people. It's really interesting. It's like you don't know how to feel about her. I barely have time to select a can of coffee from the line of refrigerated shelves before my phone rings again.
Huh? Aoi?
sorry to call again, Noriko. I just, something was bugging me.
What's up?
Did I, this is going to sound stupid. Did I thank you for getting me the job?
Oh, yeah, you did. A few times, I think.
Okay, phew. I just wanted to check. It was bothering me. And I didn't want to come off as ungrateful. You know what? Just to make sure. Thank you, Noriko. Okay, I'm going now, really. Bye-bye.
Bye, Aoi.
The call ends and my brow furrows. That was strange, but maybe not so strange for Aoi. I guess she just really wanted to be polite. I think that's fine. Maybe, you know, maybe she's got some Canadian in her. She wants to make sure she really says sorry enough. I wonder why. Do Canadians really say sorry a lot? Like, the only time I've ever really heard a Canadian say sorry was like this lady. I was in the streets of Victoria, and she was just kind of like welcoming people as they come. You know, it's kind of like a touristy type area. And she was just making jokes about how they say sorry a lot. It's like, do they really do that, though? I feel bad, like, just stereotyping Canadians like that. I mean, it's not a bad thing to be stereotyped for. I would rather be known as a person who just says sorry a lot than anything else. I shrug it off and return to selecting my coffee for the day. Though Canada does have that weird law, don't they? Where, like, saying sorry is not an admission of fault. Like, they had to make that a law. Like, if you say that, like, you're not just, like, admitting anything. Because it's like... usually when you say sorry for something, you're apologizing because you did something wrong. But no, like, you can just be saying sorry, like, for your situation, right? Anyways, I'm done talking about it. I promise. The office atmosphere is unusually somber when I exit the elevator. There are fewer people around than normal. Some executives I really see on this level are hovering around in one of those glass screen cubicles to one side of the floor. I spy Shinya standing at his desk, talking quietly on the phone. He's nodding and bowing a lot despite the fact that whoever's on the other end of the call can't see him. I feel like that's another thing that's maybe a little bit Japanese, like... I mean, I do the same thing too, though, let's be honest. Like, does anybody else, like, when you're on a phone, you, like, make expressions or, like, do hand gestures, you know? Like, as if they were right there and you're like engaging in the conversation. I do that a lot, especially when I'm talking to people I don't know. Like, just to be polite. I have no idea. I want to ask somebody what's going on, but no one seems to notice me arriving. I shuffle my way to the desk and sit down. I spend some time looking over a spreadsheet of today's tasks. After going through it thoroughly, Shinya arrives in front of my desk, seemingly out of breath.
Noriko, has anyone filled you in yet?
No. What's going on?
No, what's going on? Why is half the office empty?
Well, you see, somebody within the company died yesterday.
Huh. Huh. I wonder who that could be. Crazy.
Oh? Somebody we know?
Shinya shakes her head slowly, his expression gravely serious.
Nobody you would have interacted with. She was an exec up on the 21st floor.
Crazy. You know, I don't know anything about that. Nope.
Apparently,
Absolutely not.
she never showed up yesterday, but her coworkers just assumed she was taking a personal day. People started getting the news in the afternoon. She was involved in some sort of accident, and now she's...
Accident, you say? If this is the person I'm thinking of, it wasn't an accident.
Dead?
Shinya glares at me, his narrow pupils seemingly accusing me of being tactless.
dead.
So, I mean, I get it's a tragedy and all, but how does this explain where everyone is today?
You should have received an email sent out by HR this morning.
Again, who checks their emails?
Basically, everyone is being offered professional grief counseling.
Seriously?
I mean, I think that's a little extreme. Like, it wasn't like it was... do they even know what the cause of death was? And it was somebody that not even everyone would have known anyways, so... I could see, like, her close coworkers, maybe. But I'm like...
I think some people are taking up the offer, but I suspect some other employees are using the opportunity to skip out on work. Regardless, what happened to Miss Tsurumaki was a tragedy. So unexpected.
Yep, same lady. I blink a few times, getting ready to turn back to my computer. Uh-oh, she finally connected the dots, huh?
Wait, what was her name?
Huh? Ms. Tsurumaki. It should be in the email. She had a young daughter and everything. It's really sad.
Oh boy. Interesting. So probably the person that asked for her death was someone within the company. Maybe someone who wanted her job, perhaps? Just an idea, just a thought? I've never met her before. Her face appears in my mind with startling clarity. Self-asphyxiation, an accident. She worked here. I can scarcely believe it. It's true that this is a massive company with thousands of employees Japan-wide, but still, for her to work in the very same building as me. Yeah, that would hit a little too close for comfort. It's too coincidental, it doesn't feel right. Would I have gotten through with killing her if I knew she worked in my building? The scenario creates more questions than answers. The person that requested her death, do they also work here? It would have been somebody who knows her well enough to want her dead. Odds are high that they work here as well.
You okay?
I realized I've been spacing out and turned back to Shinya.
Yeah, sorry, just thinking is all.
Well, grief affects us all in different ways. I think the details for the counseling sessions are in the email. Be sure to take up the company's offer if you think it'll help. As for me, I think I'll be okay. Some quiet reflection on the matter should help clear my head.
I think Shinya's already, like, trying to figure out. I think he's going to be a very big... Is antagonist the right word? Like, the person that kind of goes against us and kind of gets in our way? I think he's going to be a pretty good antagonist. Because he likes to figure out crimes and stuff. Like, that's the worst person. He's literally like the L to our light Yagami, right? Don't want him around.
Sure, okay.
Plus, I have a date with Tomoe to look forward to. It's important to look ahead in times like these, isn't it? I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Very well then. Do your best today, okay?
Right.
Oh boy, oh boy. I can only see this getting interesting. Shinya takes his leave and I let my shoulders slump. I killed someone from my office building, but I didn't know that at the time. Could my involvement be traced? No, I was careful to cover my tracks. I deleted the photos from my computer, discarded the burner phone's SIM card, and trashed the phone itself. There's no way anyone would find out that I was involved. Besides, I don't know if the authorities are treating the case as a murder. As far as general information goes, it would seem like it's truly being treated as an accident. I'm in the clear, I know I am. However, I would sure like to uncover the identity of the person who requested Tsurumaki's death. Yeah, good luck with that. And thought it could be someone I work with. Makes me way too curious. You have an interesting room here. Let's get a good look at this. So you have like a little like powder table, okay. You have like a, what is that, a diamond? Like a diamond from a playing card? And then the club. And then you have chess. You have something on the floor, your phone. You have this bear that has its eyes X'd out. Very ominous, okay. It's a pretty interesting room, I'll say that. Despite work being eventful this morning, the rest of the day passed quietly. Even Tomoe kept her distance from me. I wonder if I scared her off when I casually mentioned reporting her to the police. Not that I actually would report her. That would lead to the police getting mixed up in my life, and I can't really have that considering my moonlighting occupation. Oh, yeah, you're in an interesting situation for sure. Especially now that I know I have a connection to Tsurumaki. I brushed my hair in front of the mirror and in my bedroom. I removed my makeup and revealed the ever so faint bruise on my cheek, the fading token of my fight with Tomoe. Since tonight is rather cold, I decided to snuggle up under the covers in bed with my laptop. I crawl into bed and pull the plush blankets over myself. The warmth and softness is immediately comforting, and I have to fight the urge not to fall asleep here and now. To keep myself awake, I check the requests on my website. I'm pleasantly surprised to find that there are 2 new requests. 2 in one day. My heart begins to race and I quickly open the messages. The first message reads. So it was at 11:14. Okay. I thought I configured the website to reject requests unless an image is attached. This is really irritating. I got my hopes up for nothing. It takes me a second to remember that there's another request waiting. My optimism is renewed. I hurriedly quicken to the unread message. Okay, so this was later in the day. Interesting. Yes, this request was submitted correctly. The image is loading before my eyes. I don't know if, like, that's just how they're doing it. I don't think it is, but they're doing these white backgrounds, right? And that makes it look like the other one, which was kind of like an employee ID looking thing. So I'm like, oh, is this another employee? That would be very suspicious if people in that same company keep dying. The new victim is male, early 20s. He's fit and athletic looking. His clothing is casual, so it's impossible to infer what kind of work he does. The photo of him is pretty simple. I don't know if he uses it for his noise profile or if it's an ID photo of some sort. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Either way, he looks like a happy person. I'm so naive to pretend I can't guess as the reasons why this guy's wanted dead. Perhaps an ex has submitted his details after a bad breakup or a jealous sibling wants him out of the picture. Who knows? Who knows? But that's not our job to ask. We just do the dirty work. People's motivations are purely selfish. Requesting death of somebody is guaranteed to be motivated by self-interest. Yeah, pretty much. So why did someone want Tsurumaki dead? She was so plain-looking, so uninteresting. Didn't it look like she was even capable of thinking about wronging somebody? Did somebody want revenge on her, or did somebody find her so dull that the thought of removing her from the planet seemed appealing? I interrupt my own thoughts and return to the task at hand. Dwelling on a past victim won't do me any good if I want to continue my streak of success. The new guy is attractive. It's almost a shame to have to chop him up. Well, we all get what's coming to us. No sense in trying to avoid scarring a pretty face. Beauty is superficial anyways. I know that as well as anyone. No one deserves to be spared just because they're good looking. Beautiful people should suffer as much as anyone else. Beautiful people do suffer as much as anyone else. Take Aoi, for example. She's gorgeous, absolutely stunning, and definitely my type. But she suffers endlessly at the hands of a cruel stalkers and patrons. Everyone suffers, beautiful or not. We all cop the crap we're dealt. So, as she was saying that, I thought of something. Do y'all think that someone's going to request the death of Aoi? And what do you think Noriko's going to do about it? I'm curious. If someone requested the death of her best friend, what would she do? I think we're going to see. So why fuss over a beautiful corpse? This guy, or Aoi, or even Tomoe on a good day. Beautiful people die the same way as the average person. The guy on my computer screen probably doesn't really deserve to die. I'm sure there's some petty reason for his death has been requested. But I take all requests seriously. I won't turn a single one down. Corpse Girl's convictions will pave the way. to her fame. Yeah, but that brings some dicey questions, okay? I don't know if y'all saw some of the promotional stuff. If you don't want a spoiler, no, I'm not even gonna say it. Anyways, we're just gonna continue on. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who has never looked into this game, because if you look on the Steam page, you'll find spoilers, okay? And I've already seen some of them, so I do know some big plot twists. But I'm sure there's more to it than that, so we'll see. With a smirk and a lick of my lips, I get to work. I've got a nice clear photo here so I can go all out on the request. There's still the aardvark ambush. There's a funny one. There's a bathroom one. Interesting. I hit up the DD, the database of the deceased, and spend some time selecting a suitable base image. I hesitate between choosing an image of a corpse with a knife in its throat, or a body soaking in a bloody bathtub with its wrist slit. Ugh. No, don't want to hear about that. Either image would do fine, but I just really want something special for his latest victim. After all, I have to top my last success, right? After 5 or 10 minutes pass until I gasp at coming across the perfect photo. Thanks to my clever use of tags and filters on this DD, this image matches my victim's description perfectly. 20 to 30 years old, athletic, male. The corpse's legs are severed below the knee. Bloody stumps leak their vital fluids from on high. The body is hanging from a set of power lines on a suburban street. What the frick? Like, nothing like this happens in real life, does it? Like, gosh, where are you finding all these photos? Perfect, beautiful even. It will help me create a beautiful death for a beautiful person. I kind of have to question the story behind the photo. I wonder if the police ever investigated and discovered what happened to this sucker. But regardless, this will serve my purpose. I download the highest resolution copy available and save it to my hard drive. My fingers tracing along the computer's trackpad with practiced movements, clicking, tapping, dragging at random intervals. The night carries on. Oh boy. I'm just waiting for everything to go wrong here. It's going to happen. My walk through the train station this morning is confident, cocky, self-assured. When I board the train, I even managed to take a seat for the first time in a while. I withdraw a worn book from my handbag and flip open the cover. There's a name scrawled in blue ballpoint pen on the first page, but has become faded and illegible over time. I don't quite remember when I picked up this book. Maybe I discovered it at a secondhand bookshop. Who knows? I own so many obscure tomes I can't be expected to recall purchasing every single one. Its aged cover and weathered spine both bear the same title. Fosse Photographie, a comprehensive history of photo manipulation. I'm trying to guess, is that French? Like, I'm sorry if that's way off. But it is written in English and it's a slog to work through my limited knowledge of that language. But why is it spelled like that? I don't know, it sounds like another language to me. I like to skim it primarily for the photographs contained within. The examples of early image doctoring from centuries ago fascinates me. The book even features techniques and studies as recent as 1993, when it was published. It's true that a lot of the techniques discovered within are no longer relevant in today's digital age. However, there's a hearty section dedicated to the art of manipulating corpse photos, something that I am indeed very, very interested in. The most intriguing aspect of this section's content is that featured artists perform the opposite kind of work that I do. Instead of manipulating images of the living to make them appear dead, the artists in the book edit images of the dead in order to make them look alive once more. In bygone eras where photographs of people were taken far in between, a sect of artists dedicated themselves to honoring the memories of the deceased. They did this by making the photos taken upon death look beautiful and full of life. These photos were gifted to family members and loved ones. The tradition makes sense. Imagine if you lost someone dear to you and you had no photographs of them. Wouldn't it be wonderful to receive one last memento, a beautiful image of the way you remember them? It reminds me of that filter that like makes images like come to life. It almost looks like they're like looking around or smiling or things like that. A lot of people I feel like do that to past loved ones, right? And that's kind of what they're doing, I feel like, in the photo she's talking about. And then there's Noriko, who's doing the exact opposite, trying to make people look dead who are alive. Interesting. The impressive aspect of this process is the way they illustrate the corpse's eyes to make look full of life. Even though it's a far cry from the work I do, I can't help but feel some sort of kinship with the artist discussed in this book. Surely we are cut from the same cloth. Sure. We can go with that one. Yep. Browsing through the images in this book inspires me to work hard on my own photo editing. Many of the pictures are in black and white, but to me, that only drives home how impressive these old techniques were. I finish flipping through a chapter and close the book. I hold the tattered tome close to my chest and breathe a sigh of
The
satisfaction.
next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
I quickly stuff the book into my handbag and get ready to disembark the train. Ooh, I can just sense that something's coming. While I'm certain nobody's looking, I carefully open the lid of a large dumpster in front of me. The stench of rotten food and who knows what else assaults my senses. I reflexively gag and splutter. Staff at the convenience store really need to steal their trash and plastic bags before tossing it in here.
This is disgusting. I have to stop doing this.
What are you doing? Allowing my now free hands to retrieve a small black object from my handbag. Oh, this is where she's getting rid of the phones. Okay. It's a flip phone, a cheap plastic thing with a shiny charcoal finish. Open it up, tap on the retro tactile keys, confirming that I completely deleted all sent messages and photos. Not even myself satisfied I covered my tracks, I eject the battery from the back of the casing, toss it in the dumpster, then snap the phone in half along the hinge, separating the screen from the keypad. The screen crunches into pieces with gratifying underneath my shoes. I retrieve the smashed parts from the asphalt, careful not to prick my finger on the sharp glass. With hardly a glance, I unceremoniously launch the broken parts of the phone into the dumpster. Clap my hands together to dust them off, then shut the dumpster lid and hurry away. I slide between the brick wall of the convenience store and a narrow metal railing intended to keep people like me away from the dumpsters. Now in front of the convenience store, I feel I can breathe deeply without fear of inhaling the toxic contents of the dumpster. I let my lungs take their fill before nonchalantly crossing the street. That takes care of my latest burner phone. Before leaving the office building, I cracked the SIM card in half and disposed of it in the combustible trash. Now with the phone itself destroyed and discarded at a different location, my mind is at ease. It's been slightly less than 24 hours since I messaged my latest victim, that athletic guy that I may have briefly fantasized about during my restless slumber. My general rule of thumb is to keep a burner phone for exactly 24 hours after sending a photo. However, I made an exception today. I wanted to discard the phone early, clear my anxiety, and get a full night's rest tonight. Besides, it's not like anyone ever replies to the messages I send. I'd love it if they did, but it is what it is. So really, there's no hope. There's no point holding on to the evidence of wrongdoing for longer than necessary. If memory serves, I wrote tomorrow's date on the latest victim's timestamp, May 30th, 10:31 a.m. I feel like she likes to do in the morning. Maybe that's just because she wants to get out of the way quicker. The victim may decide to kill himself today, of course. He could end up just like Akane Suromaki. But if he's anything like her, he'll just hold out until a few hours before the designated time. He'll let panic and fear boil and build inside of him until he just can't take it anymore. Or someone else will come along and end it for him. I can't be sure. I still don't know what happened to Ruri Hatano. Did she kill herself or did someone else snuff out her life? Either way, I'll start researching obituaries tomorrow. I'm confident that it'll be another successful quest. If it is, I'll truly be on a winning streak. This is like something that's terrible to say that you're on a winning streak for. Like, absolutely terrible. So bad. I am indeed curious, though. Is it, and I've kind of been talking to you guys about it in the comments, like, is this a supernatural thing? Is this an organization behind it? Is this like an individual who's going around and somehow knows what she's doing and is like fulfilling her will? That's kind of the question I'm asking. I'm curious which route they're gonna go. Speaking of routes, on my route home, I usually like to trek through the small park close to my apartment, provided the weather is decent. This is very pretty. I do like it. It's like a Bob Ross painting. I avoid the park in the mornings as a lot of people walk their dogs and I can't risk my allergies flaring up before I reach the office. Freaking same. Gosh, I hate allergies. In the evening, the park is much emptier. I suppose I finish work a bit earlier than most people, so while everyone else is busy, I can enjoy the fresh air and scenery. Make my way along the neat, broad dirt path that connects one side of the park to the other. Wooden benches line the path at regular intervals, and at this time of the evening, it's common to see a homeless person or two using a bench as a resting place. The city has more homeless people than the general population would care to admit. Yeah, there's a lot of places like that in the United States. You go to California, you go to Oregon, you go to Washington, mostly on the West Coast. I don't know why it particularly there, but lots of homeless. I try not to think about it as I walk by every day. I already know that many people have it worse off than I do, but there's not exactly anything I can do to help, right? Should I be giving these people money that I can't afford to spare? Wouldn't I end up homeless as well? Oh, I'm sure you have a little bit of money. I mean, she must be making some money, and then she's buying burner phones all the time. Maybe if you had a better hobby, you would have more money, okay? Got kind of a interesting hobby. Not exactly broke, but I live month to month on my salary. It's expensive to live on the outskirts of Akihabara. Oh, you live near Akihabara, okay. And commuting to Shinjuku every day isn't exactly cheap either. Then you add in electricity bills, phone, food. I mean, I don't eat unless I have to, but I'd starve if I didn't buy a meal every other day. Oh, you're starving yourself, huh? Don't even get me started on the cost of the coffee I drink. If I'm lucky, I can score a can for 100 yen, but more often than not, I pay up to 150 for a single can. So you're a penny pincher too, huh? If I were to buy canned coffee in bulk from one of those huge variety stores like Don Quixote... Don Coyote. Coyote. It's supposed to be Don Quixote. I know that's a place that they have in Japan, because they have it in Hawaii, too. It's a pretty neat store, honestly. Like, if you like Asian stuff, I really recommend it. They even have, like, cosplay there. Like, you can buy, like, some cosplay stuff. I think that's really cool. I'd still only save a handful of loose change, and I wouldn't have access to the familiar selection I get at the convenience store. I'm just thankful I don't have to go out for drinks after work like most of my colleagues. If I had to buy a few rounds of beers every week, my bank account would definitely dry up. By avoiding that kind of group outing, not only do I save money, but I'm also not forced to spend more time around people. It's a win-win situation. Yeah, I feel like it would be pretty hard to relate to people when your hobby is making other people want to die. So, realizing I'm trudging alone the path at a snail's pace, I tell myself to speed up my gait. Towards the exit of the park, the silhouettes of two people on a bench come into view. Sound of laughter carries on the wind. I can't help but feel like I've heard those voices before. Oh boy, it's gonna be Shinya and Tomoe, huh? I immediately get the urge to turn around and I'm so close to home.
It's Noriko! Fancy seeing her here.
I told you. I knew what it was.
Noriko's here.
Tomoe glares and flips her long hair behind her ear with a Oh, I almost said it. A crap-eating grin on her face. Yep, that's what it was. Yep. No other words there. Shinya looks kind of out of place outside of the office. His face is filtered by an especially uncomfortable expression. I start to wonder why these two are here, but then I recall that Tomoe did mention they're going on a date on Friday night. Suppose it's just my bad luck that I'd run into them on the way home. Though, what are they doing here in Akihabara? I have to assume that Tomoe came here on purpose just to spite me.
On your way home? Uh-huh. How's your, date? We're having a blast. Right, Chen?
Yes, of course. A great time.
It sounds like a man that has a gun to his head, just like, yes, of course, I am having a great time. I wonder if Tomoe has been dragging Shinya along against his will.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it. Hey, we're gonna grab some chicken. Why don't you come with us? No thanks.
Can't think of any worse way to spend an evening with Tomoe.
Please come with us, Noriko.
Oh no, we have to save him. Ah, there goes our plans. I mean, I guess it's better than going home and trying to kill somebody, but you know, still not a great option either. It's pitiful he brought the date on himself. Why should I have to bail him out?
Sorry, I've got things to do tonight.
Are you sure you're not just avoiding eating? Afraid to gain a bit of fat?
Yeah, I mean, you have a little bit of fat on you. You can clearly see it. Honestly, don't know what to say to that.
Say, Shin, you ever seen Noriko eat anything?
Well, now that you mention it, she never seems to eat at the office.
I eat at home, if that's okay with you.
It's not completely a lie. Sometimes I eat at home, sometimes I don't eat at all.
Come on, come get some chicken with us. You can throw it back up or whatever afterwards if it makes you feel better.
Wow, that was incredibly insensitive. But, you know, I shouldn't expect anything less from Tomoe. That's so terrible. She's just straight up saying, oh yeah, you got an eating disorder, I bet. Starting to get on my nerves. I swear she's trying to identify as my flaws and insecurities just so she can rub in my face.
Tomoe, you're not being very nice to Noriko. Aren't you two supposed to be friends?
No.
We're besties. Besties talk shit to each other, right, Noriko?
Yes, but you can still be a little bit nicer, okay?
Right.
And we're not besties, so don't get any ideas.
Huh. Fascinating.
Anyway, I'm going now. See you on Monday.
Okay. See you then.
Buzzkill. She's such a drag.
I let Tomoe's words hang in the air as I walk past her. I'm pretty annoyed that she dragged Shinya all the way here just to taunt me. Is this her idea of a good date? Does she care about Shinya at all, or is this whole thing just to annoy me? Tomoe dating Shinya doesn't even get on my skin. I don't have feelings for him at all. What does get on my nerves is simply the fact that Tomoe is trying so hard to get on my nerves. Yeah, she's trying, like, so hard. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if I could carry on my way home without one final interruption. Tomoe calls out to me again.
Your friend Aoi is gonna start work with us on Monday, yeah? Oh, fun. I can't wait to meet a friend of Noriko's.
Oh gosh, Aoi might regret working here. I grimace. I suppose Shinya told her about that. I turned back to face them both.
Don't even think about messing with Aoi. That girl has dealt with enough crap at her last job.
Dang, okay. That's a very threatening face you're making.
Oh, has she? Maybe big, strong Noriko can protect her now.
I'd do anything for her. She's my best friend. If you had any friends of your own, you'd understand what that feels like.
Got him.
Well, I got plenty of friends, and only some of them are sluts like you.
I hate the way she says that. It's so dumb. I mean, like, it's not dumb. Like, when Doja Cat does it, it's fine, okay? Like, I like that, but, like, I don't know. Tomoe just tries too hard for me. Tries too hard.
Yeah. I'm going.
Finally managed to disengage from the conversation with Tomoe's mocking laugh piercing the air. I exit the park, cross the road, and walk down the block leading to my apartment. Tomoe, I have to wonder if that girl exists solely to irritate me. Probably. I mean, that's why they put her in the game, right? I have to tell myself she's not worth my time. I can't let her taunts get to me. Grin and bear it, as they say. That's what stoic, unflinching Noriko would do. Running a hand through my hair, I smile and approach my apartment building. Oh, we're at the library on a Saturday. I spent all morning trying unsuccessfully to calm my nerves. I'm anxious about finding out whether my latest victim has perished. It's afternoon now, so the time written on this photo has passed. If my work was successful, I should know soon enough. I've already set up an obituary news alert on my phone to keep me informed. Instead of sitting at home all day and waiting for my phone to go off, I decided to visit an old favorite hangout. Public libraries don't get the credit they deserve in this age. They're quiet, calm, soothing, and I can stay here for hours for free and just get lost in different worlds. Yeah, I'll say libraries are pretty good. When I was a little bit younger and I read a lot more than I do now, definitely was going to the libraries a lot. Plus, I always carry works from my favorite authors. Sometimes the librarians are even kind enough to recommend titles that might fit my taste. I don't feel judged here. Nobody looks at me and mocks my clothing or my makeup. Nobody looks at me and asks if I had enough to eat lately. Nobody makes fun of me, that lonely girl in the corner reading Lovecraft and calmly stroking her hair. Every so often I put my book aside and check my phone out of habit. Still no alerts. Have I miscalculated something? Did my latest photo not look convincing or damning enough to inspire suicide or murder? I find myself growing increasingly anxious and impatient.
Huh? You a Lovecraft nerd?
Ooh, it's this guy. I did see the previews. I did see this as a character in here. Interesting. He always looked like somebody that I would want to get to know. Cthulhu, huh? You a Lovecraft nerd. I think twice and look up at the strange man standing over me.
Huh?
Sas, didn't mean to interrupt. Notice you're reading Lovecraft. Huh. In Japanese, too. Didn't know this book had been translated.
Yeah. My English isn't great, so I read the translated versions.
Literally talking aloud in English. Yeah, my English not too great.
That's mad.
Sorry, I always find things like that
Do
funny.
they translate esoteric names? Can't imagine Cthulhu being easy to write in kanji.
Well, it's written in katakana, so...
Of course. Kojiro.
And extends a hand, and I can't tell if he wants me to shake it or pass him my book.
What?
I'm Kojiro. You?
Noriko. Kurosawa.
Nice. Just Kojiro for me. No last name. Call me Koji.
I like how this dude just waltzes in. I see you're ready Cthulhu, huh? Anyways, my name is Kojiro. Call me Koji. No last name. You're my friend now. Just won't take no for an answer, just asserts himself.
You don't have a last name?
Used to. Lost it. Fire, you know. I'm just Kojiro now.
What? Yeah, the nameplate on my house that said my last name had burned down, so I don't have that anymore. That's not how that works, but okay. This guy is weird. Clothes smell like they've been stashed in the back of a closet for a decade or two. Ew. Oh gosh, I know the smell of that too. His face is unshaven, his eyes are scarily clear and focused, despite being masked by a pair of thick glasses.
Didn't mean to keep you. Saws again.
Why does he say saws?
I'm looking for Nobel Sinclair. He around here?
I mean, I don't know. Who?
Writer guy? Did that book about befriending the dead? The librarian told me to check these shelves.
Sorry, I don't really know.
Oh gosh, a fellow weirdo.
No worries. I'll find him. You know, you look like the type who'd enjoy his books. Not to judge you by your cover.
Ha ha ha. Book puns. Yeah, it's so funny. Ha 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 ha.
Need a strong stomach, though. Messed up shit.
Oh, buddy, if only you knew. If only you knew. I hate to admit it, the strangers captured my interest.
How messed up are we talking?
Well, his first book describes dressing up corpses, taking them to dinner. Goal is to not get caught out. Mad, right?
What is this, a weekend at Bernie's?
Like something out of that American movie. Weekend with Bernard? Or something like that.
Of course they're referencing it. And it's Weekend with Bernie, not Bernard.
Second book goes nuts. Main character fills the school classroom with bodies, all dressed up as students. Runs lectures and records them, puts them online.
Are these based on real stories?
Best part? No one can figure out if these books are fiction. Internet says Nobel Sinclair actually did these things. Says he's doing time now, writing these books as a confession.
Interesting.
Right? It's deranged. Makes for a good bedtime reading.
Yeah, it's really freaking messed up. Like, I don't know how people can read this. Anyways, it makes for a good bedtime story. I'm gonna go check it out and take it home with me. It's like, okay.
Huh.
This is like the perfect guy for Noriko.
You want noise? Well, of course you are.
Yeah. You?
Yeah, at Koji. Add me if you like. We can talk shop. I'm gonna find Nobel. Wish me luck.
Okay, I mean, seemed like a nice guy. Definitely creepy. Not someone I would talk to in person. But, hey, you know, seems like the perfect guy for Noriko. Maybe he's a love interest. Who knows? We'll find out. Without so much as a glance back at me, the man walks away. I try to return to my reading, but with that whole conversation just replays back in my head. What a bizarre encounter. Maybe I'll just head home for today. Being here has helped me calm down, but I'm still eagerly anticipating the fate of my victim. Besides, I have to admit that I'm growing a little bit hungry. Maybe onigiri, a rice ball from the convenience store, will tide me over until tomorrow. Gather my things and stand up, letting out a little whoo as I stretch my muscles. As I head towards the sliding doors to leave the library, a little alert sounds from my phone. My phone is in my hands in less than a second. The screen unlocked and the obituary page loading before my eyes. Oh boy, oh boy. Was pronounced dead this afternoon at a traffic intersection. Coroner's reports that Mr. Hanada is involved in a traffic accident. No other casualties have been reported. Mr. Hanada is survived by his fiancée who wishes to remain anonymous. Funeral service has not been yet arranged. Oh boy. I already know how this is gonna go. Quickly load the image attached. I can't believe my eyes. Photo is the exact same one that was sent to me through Corpse Girl's website. This can be absolutely no doubt this is my latest victim. I've done it again. My breathing starts to quicken, my cheeks begin to grow hot. I know from experience that if I don't get somewhere private and quickly, I may very well make a fool of myself in public. Gosh, I have a hard time reading sometimes. Quickly glanced around the library for a sign pointing to a restroom. As soon as my eyes settle on it, I dash towards it, swerving between bookshelves and through narrow aisles. There's one door for a unisex bathroom and a remarkable beige portal. The muscles in my thighs are tightening and I squirm as I reach for the door. My hand grasps the cool metal handle and presses down, only to be met with immovable resistance. It's locked. There's a sign on the door and I completely ignored in my haste. Closed for cleaning.
Shit.
I curse despite my best efforts to keep a low profile. My head turns frantically looking for anywhere that I can sit down and remain out of sight while my body reacts erratically to my latest success.
You busted?
This is my new favorite dude right here. What the frick? You busting?
I need to use the restroom.
I hope you can't tell the expression on my face is not of desperation to use the facilities. My surprised Kojiro strides to the restroom door and begins to slam his fist against it.
Cleaning time is over. Get out of there.
I hear a panicked yelp from within. Kojiro's commanding voice is more than a little intimidating. In seconds, a terrified old woman emerges. She wheels her cleaning trolley around us, bows quickly and disappears from sight.
Bad to hold it.
Thanks.
This freaking game, man. I dash past Kojiro, unable to believe what is happening here. I slam the door behind me and slip into a cubicle. I like how this looks like it's a big bathroom. Wasn't this like a single stall type thing? It was just like a single room. As soon as I sit atop the toilet's closed lid, my legs begin to shake uncontrollably, and I have to lean back to steady myself. Etchi Hanada is dead, killed in a traffic accident. That could mean anything, but I'm willing to bet that I caused his death. After seeing the photo of his dismembered corpse, he might have purposely crashed his car. Perhaps someone else might have rammed his vehicle intent on murdering him on behalf of Corpse Girl. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if it's like... I mean, it might be multiple things. Because I said it might be an organization that's like carrying out her will. Or it might be like some kind of supernatural power. It could be both. It could be a supernatural power that is making people carry out her will. I don't know. The cause of death ultimately doesn't matter. What matters is the Corpse Girl is victorious once more. I find myself panting, squirming, struggling to restrain myself. You do have to ask the question, though. So, she had her first victim, Ruri, that died. But ever since then, she didn't have another victim, okay? So, she had, like, what, like 6 people, I thought? It was something like that. And then she had the last girl, Surumaki. And then she had this guy. So, why was there a gap where it didn't work? What was the reasoning behind that? My vision fogs, my knuckles clench. With barely a fanfare, I begin to cool down all of a sudden. Just like that, the overwhelming urge to explode simply flutters away. My breathing regulates, my legs solidify, and the rest firmly on the ground. This experience wasn't nearly as staggering as last time. Maybe because I was so confident this victim would die, my body had prepared itself for it. But I already become desensitized to my ability to wield death itself. I won't pretend that I'm not disappointed. That exhilarating feeling I experienced last time, the complete and utter loss of control, it was addicting. I craved experiencing it again. She definitely sounds like someone who like does drugs and has like gotten really high before. Well, I'm not just talking about like with weed or whatever, but like you've had a high where like you hit a peak where you're like it had the maximum effect on you, and now it's like she's getting more used to it, I guess. So like the effect is not as strong each time. That's just kind of, I guess, the best comparison I could think of. Still, I need to remind myself of the most important thing. I fulfilled the request issued to Corpse Girl. There's 2 new victories in a row, 2 victories in a single week. As long as requests keep coming and I can achieve my goals, I can do this. Full of confidence and feeling steady once more, I exit the cubicle and leave the bathroom. That strange man Kojiro is waiting for me at the end of an aisle.
Good?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for... you know... I really needed the bathroom.
Course. Been there. Gotta go when you gotta go. Look what I found.
Kojiro holds up a book with a plain black cover.
Sinclair's latest. Dazed by the Dead. It's a ripper.
Oh, what's that one about?
Falling in love with the dead. Read it already last year. Time for another go. Oh, here.
Kojiro hands another book to me, the one with a brown cover. An illustration on the front depicts a field of flowers.
What's this?
Sinclair's first ever published work. Strange Flower. Title's nonsense. This is the one where he puts corpses in suits, treats them to meals at fancy restaurants. Loaned it out under my name. You take it. Return it before the due date. Can't risk getting fined.
Okay. Such a weird guy.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll...
Sure. Send me your thoughts and noise. Right. Be seeing you.
Okay. Anyways. He waves his hand and disappears behind the closet closest shelves. Can't really get over how peculiar he is, but he certainly is making an effort to be friendly. Turn the heavy book over in my hands and look inside the front cover for a publication date. I will say, though, you know, because I play a lot of games where I like to speculate, so you're going to hear a lot of speculation from me. I wonder if he knows what she's doing. If he's already aware of it, and he's maybe feeding her hints on things. Maybe feeding her hints on, like, how she should go about the victims, or things like that. Maybe giving her a message of some kind, or maybe he's just gonna be someone that becomes relevant. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure in either way. But, I'm sure he'll be important. He seems like someone who might be helping her out in some way. 2009, it's actually not that old. If 2009 feels like 100 years ago. Like, that's back when, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out. You know, I was in like middle school around that time. We just got out of like that huge recession, right? You know, interesting times. Interesting times. They were good times for some people, I'm sure. For me, it was, but interesting year. I shrug and hoist the bulky tome underneath my arm, then make for the library's exit. I feel uncommonly hungry on my way home, so much that if I decide to stop by a restaurant and get some dinner, I wonder if killing stirs my appetite. Interesting, okay. I also pass by this establishment when I exit the train station Akihabara. It's an old venue that serves traditional Japanese food as well as popular Western dishes. Yeah, it literally looks like it's supposed to be like a 50s cafe or something. So I've always been curious about eating here would be inaccurate. Or it would be accurate. It also looks like one of those kind of sit-down family Japanese restaurants. It looks like a weird mix of American and Japanese. But I mean, that's literally kind of what she said it was. I've been working hard lately in achieving my goals. I can afford to treat myself to a cooked meal, right? Why do I find it so hard to justify that? I'm gonna even eat at a booth tonight, another rarity for me. Waitress guides me to an empty booth. I slide in before looking at the menu. The house specialty, according to the menu in my hands, is grilled eel. I kind of like the unagi sauce. I'm not sure if I like actual unagi itself. Not sure. Not exactly my favorite, in fact. Seafood of any variety doesn't sit well in my stomach. I have tried some unagi, though. It's okay. But yeah, I'm not sure if I like it. So I had to pass on the specials and order something I know I can digest. Omelet rice sounds good. I used to eat it a lot as a kid. Omelet rice and ketchup. What's not to like? Plus, it's only 700 yen before tax. Wait, you have to calculate the tax after there in Japan? Like, that's not just factored in. I felt like America was the only place that did that. Waitress returns to take my order. Actually, let me look at the log. Make sure I read that right. Yeah, it's before tax. I thought Japan calculated everything with the tax in there. Maybe not. She offers me a smile and hurries off to the next table. Perhaps my recent victory streak has given me a courage boost because I hardly feel awkward or anxious sitting here, surrounded by people eating and drinking on all sides. I'm somewhat calm and at ease amidst the hustle and bustle of the restaurant. I almost feel like it might be a nice time to have company. A friend, perhaps. Aoi or even Shinya might be nice to talk to and pass the time with. Oh well, in a way I do have some company. I retrieved the book from my handbag, the very same book Kojiro lent to me, and I opened up to the first chapter. Strange Flower, an odd, apparently meaningless title. Still, it comes highly recommended by an eccentric stranger, so it must be good. Yeah, totally. If some random dude like Koji, just came up to us, I'm sure I would take his recommendations. My meal arrives, so I'm a few pages into the book. I thank the waitress and look at the omelet rice before me. It smells good. It's presented beautifully. I could probably eat at least a quarter of this portion without feeling ill. I pick up a spoon and slice through the middle of the omelet rice, causing a puff of steam to billow up. Throwing caution to the wind, I scoop up a good amount and bring it to my mouth. It's delicious. There's no other word to describe it. The convenience store meals I normally eat can't even compare to something like this. The egg is soft, the rice is fluffy, and there's just enough ketchup along the top. Take a second mouthful, then a third, and I can't help but giggle a little at the thought of myself sitting here, eating like a normal person. Yeah, I bet that is a little silly, huh? All the people around me probably think I'm a normal person, too. Just a girl sitting in a restaurant eating her dinner, while reading, a really demented kind of book. Another quiet giggle escapes my lips, and I gently dab my mouth with a napkin. I set my spoon to the side and return to the book in front of me. The author of this work certainly is interesting. Nobel Sinclair. According to the bio inside the front cover, he moved to Japan from overseas at a young age. The book was written originally in Japanese. It's not a translation, but even so, the writing style is quite unusual. I can't put my finger on it, but what's strange about it? Maybe it's the lack of complex kanji used throughout. Everything is written rather simply in hiragana, almost like the intended audience is elementary school kids. That wouldn't be good. That can't be right. The themes contained within are truly disturbing. Maybe the author just doesn't have the greatest comprehension of writing in Japanese. It's true that a lot of adults have trouble with complex kanji. Professional authors, though, not so much. I don't know. Is he a professional author? Anyways, it's not like it matters too much. The book is interesting enough to keep me turning pages. I must be completely absorbed in reading because before I know it, a waitress is politely letting me know that the restaurant's closing soon. I know how to look at the place of omelet rice before me. The meal's gone cold and I only ate 3 bites. Still, I'm feeling full now, and I really enjoyed what I did eat. I don't even feel any added weight on my hips as I get to my feet. That's definitely a positive thing. I stretch my arms and legs, put my book in my bag, and offer the waitress some money along with the bill. Oh, there's a loading screen. What are we loading into? I'm a little concerned that there's a loading screen. Like, what the frick is about to happen here? Blast of frigid night air nearly sweeps me on my feet when I step out of the restaurant. If I known the weather was going to take a turn for the worse, I would have brought my scarf and jacket. It's the end of spring, so unpredictably cold weather is pretty rare. Guess I can't be blamed for not bundling up. Anyways, it's not raining. I'm close to home, so it shouldn't be a problem. I head down the street and watch a few shop owners closing their stores for the night. They don't pay me any mind as I wander by. Oh boy. My phone bursts to life and rings out in the quiet night air. I grab it and press it close to my ear for warmth.
Hello? Aoi? Noriko? Hello? Is this a bad time?
Oh, she's in her maid uniform.
No, I'm just walking home. You're out at this time of night? That's not like you. I stopped somewhere to eat. What's up? You stopped to eat? Say, about the new job. What is it? I spoke to the manager at the maid cafe, but he said I can't quit. He said that? Oh, well,
yeah, freaking screw this guy.
him. You have every right to quit. Did you tell him you've landed a new job? Yes, I told him. But he said he spent so much time and money training me that if I quit now, he'll treat it as stealing from the company and he'll call the police.
What? Screw this guy. What does he think he is?
What a load of crap. Hang on. Are you at the cafe now? Yes, I just finished my shift. We're closing up. I'll be right there. I'm only a minute away anyway. I'm going to give your manager a piece of my mind. No. Noriko, you can't. Just watch me. I'll be right there.
Honestly, I agree with Noriko. Okay, I actually agree with her for once. I end the call despite Aoi's objections. I can't believe how furious I am. Aoi finally managed to escape from that god-awful job, and now the manager won't let her quit. That has to be illegal. Never met her manager, but I can't just imagine his type. Self-important, wretched, greedy pig. Thinks he's the king of the world because he runs a shady maid cafe in the back streets. Well, I won't stand for it. People like him are the ones that should be reported to Corpse Girl's website. I'd love to target victims like that. I change direction and take up a running pace. The cool air against my face is kind of nice now that my body is warming up a little. Thankfully, there's hardly anyone around this time of night, so I don't feel particularly embarrassed by running in public. I'm not a terribly fit person, so it isn't long before I feel out of breath. Come to a stop at the end of the street, heaving and clutching my chest.
Okay. I'm okay. Deep breaths.
After taking a moment to collect myself, I start back up, walking briskly this time. I can see the maid's cafe's illuminated sign ahead of me. Approach the entrance and read the neon board. Chateau de Cristal, welcome home, master. Drinks from just 400 yen. Table charge 500 yen per person. Open till 10 p.m. every night. I pass the sign, reach for the door, and just as somebody hurriedly throws the door open and emerges.
Noriko?
Aoi,
Yes, we finally get to
told you
see
I'd be
her.
here.
I want to see her in her maid outfit.
I'm really glad to see you.
Nice. Interesting style. I'll say that. Needs cat ears. I'm really glad to see you. Aoi gives me a brief wave. She fidgets nervously and straightens the ruffles in her dress.
I can't believe you have to wear this ridiculous outfit.
Yeah, but the costume isn't the worst part of the job.
I actually think this is a pretty modest costume compared to some others I've seen.
I know. Listen, is your manager still here?
Aoi hesitates, then shakes her head sadly.
You just missed him. There are only a few girls inside closing up.
Damn it. Ugh, I really wanted to give him a piece of my mind.
Just don't show up for work. Screw this guy.
Noriko, it's fine. I can continue working here. It's not so bad.
What the?
Oh,
No.
no! Don't even pretend it's okay. This place is torturing you. You have that customer that always gropes you, and now your manager is controlling you?
I agree.
I won't stand for it, and you shouldn't either.
But what can I do?
You tell him you quit, and then you walk out. Honestly, stumped with the question. All my hasteness to get here, I never even thought of through a plan for Aoi. And if he doesn't pay you your last wages, you freaking get the police involved on him. They're not gonna believe this guy. What do you mean I trained you and then you quit and you can't do that? Like, what? Stealing from the company, that's the most BS I've ever heard. Just want to grab her, hug her, tell her everything's gonna be okay. So why can't I?
Aoi, I know you don't feel like it, but you're the strongest girl I know. All the shit you've dealt with over the years, all the shit you're still dealing with.
Honestly, Aoi reminds me of my aunt. Like, she'll deal with anything. She'll put up with any kind of crap. And you know, she doesn't necessarily like say that she's happy about it, but she'll freaking deal with it.
You're brave, whether you know it or not. My issues pale in comparison to yours. But you still get up each and every day and do your best. I'm proud of you. And I want to make things easier for you. Come work with me at Temujin. Just leave this place behind. Forget all about it.
Yeah, we'll see if that's a good idea.
Noriko, you're my best friend. You always will be. Even if we can't be anything more than that, I'm happy just having you in my life.
Does anybody else get like strong gay vibes when she said that? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just wondering, am I imagining that, or does it really sound like that? Even if we can't be anything more than that, like as if she wanted to.
I'd do anything for you, Aoi. I hope you realize that.
Of course. I know. Thank you, Noriko.
Let's get out of here. It's really late. Come back to my place.
You know I can't.
Why is that?
All my things are at home, and I need to check everything first. Otherwise...
I'm a little confused. I know I'd call me, I understand I can't push her too much.
Don't worry.
She taking care of family.
I get it.
It's either family or a cat.
And the thing is, I can't just run away from this place. That stalking customer. He knows where I live, and, well, if I stop showing up to work, he said he'll visit me at home.
So call the police.
Why don't we go to the police?
I can't do that!
Oh, frick. Well, what's going on here? Without warning, I'll be bursting into tears just as rain begins to spill from the clouds. That's very convenient timing.
I can't get him in trouble. I just can't.
He's who?
Aoi, what?
What is... family?
If family's sexually harassing you, screw them. They're not family. Gust of wind blows down the narrow street, causing my hair to whip wildly in my face. Brush out of my eyes and mouth, only see Aoi standing there, still head down.
Stalker. He's... family?
I could never bring myself to tell you.
Is he your uncle or something?
So
I feel like
you
it's an
must have
uncle.
wondered why I've put up with it for so long.
I don't know what to say. I'm stunned. You're putting up with it because you don't want him arrested.
Yes. If he goes to prison, the rest of my family will disown me. And I'll truly have no one.
Sounds like your family's a bunch of dicks. If my family disowned me for something like that, I would never talk to them again. They're not worth your time.
You have me.
You know what I mean.
I understand like how lonely that would probably make you feel, but are you really gonna let a family member sexually harass you?
I'm just going to go home for tonight. Thanks for coming out to see me, Noriko.
I mean, you just sound like you're a victim. Like you just wanted to deny it. You just want to put it under the rug. Just let it happen. Aoi turns on her heel and strolls away. The click-clack of her shoes against the wet pavement echoing through the streets.
Aoi.
I wonder if Noriko's gonna go out of her way and get this person killed. Doesn't hear my breath. Breathe her name as she disappears in the darkness. That poor girl, it has to be something I can do. Oh. Oh, frick, we got a choice here. Okay, guys. I don't know what quick saving does, so I'm gonna, like, manually save here, too. I think that's a good idea. Frick, do we go after Aoi, or do we give her some space, guys? This is like a big decision. I'm like, I don't know. What do we do? Frick. I'll probably if this leads to a different ending, I will definitely show both. So, we're gonna make sure we go after her. can't just let her walk away, as sad and helpless as she is. My legs lurch forward on their own volition, propelling my body through the rain-soaked streets.
Owie! Owie, come back!
My shout echoes in the night, my weightless words falling through the air like the very rain that patters against my face. Aoi's silhouette is just out of reach. If only my weak body could pick up its pace, I might be able to reach her before she fades away. Her unexpected command fulfills its purpose. I halt my shoes, skidding along the wet ground. Aoi is closer than I expected her to be. Perhaps due to some trick of the light and rain, she simply seemed further away to my tired eyes.
Owie, please. Let me help you.
There's nothing to be done. Why can't you take a hint? You just never give up, do you? You just want to smother me. You don't trust me to handle things on my own.
That's not it. I just care for you so much.
I know that. You think you haven't made that clear in the past?
Rarely have I ever seen Aoi this angry. She is well past the point of being simply upset now. She's truly furious. Have I overstepped a boundary?
You're not my guardian angel, or my savior, or whatever. This is my life, Noriko. It's not your sick fantasy, where you swoop in and act like my knight in shining armor.
Owie.
Shut up! Just shut up! You always take it one step too far. Just leave me alone.
Gosh, okay. I'm sorry. Like, I honestly feel like Noriko's in the right here. She's just caring for her friend who's getting sexually harassed. Can't get in another word before she finishes. Freaking disappears in the night. I reach a hand out in the darkness, like some foolish attempt to stop her, but I know it's pointless. Like, come on. If this person who's truly demented and twisted, Noriko, is trying to care for you, let her do it, okay? I mean, you don't know about the other stuff. I probably wouldn't associate with someone who did the other stuff. But, you know, you're best friends, okay? She doesn't need or want my help. Even if she cares for me, she doesn't love me in the same way. Oh. Okay, so they're actually admitting. They're actually, like, just throwing us out here. Okay. I sigh and look up at the thick cloak of clouds above. Rain continues to fall. Interesting. Okay. So that's where they're going with this. She's in love with her. Okay. Not hard to tell. Like I said, there was certain wording that I'm like, oh, they're going for that. Okay. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's fine. Anyways, guys, I made my first choice in the game, so I don't know how that's going to affect the story, but I made a save there, so I'll go back to it at some point, I'm sure. And I think there's multiple endings, so I'll make sure to cover all of them. You know, I want to see all of them. I mean, whether you guys want to or not, I'm gonna play through all of them. Okay. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.